All right. How you folks doing today? Okay, I've been watching on YouTube. Obviously, the police have in Truckee or that area have stated that it was an accidental drowning, an accident. Now, I know a lot of people think, well, there's still foul play. They're not happy. A lot of people on YouTube believe that there's foul play in the works. And being that the police already uh, labeled it as an accidental drowning. As YouTube crime couch potato watchers, um, we don't have all the evidence. We're not looking at the autopsy. We don't have toxicology. We don't have uh, forensic crime teams to come in and check everything. Now, I understand what some of these people are saying. It still smells like foul play. And it is possible. Anything is possible in this world if we've learned anything out of watching these cases on YouTube. Now, what could be done? Well, there really ain't too much you could do because the body has been cremated, they said, right? So you can't bring in another autopsy and forensic team to do any kind of autopsy all over again. Yeah, I understand. Some of you think that's fishy. Well, it is. You know, who could do anything about this? Well, FBI, if they were involved in it, watching the case, they could come in and take a look at things, you know. But here's the thing, it's hard to do anything now. You can't get a second opinion on the autopsy. Uh, even toxicology now because they cremated the body. So I understand a lot of people on YouTube are upset. They're not happy with an accident. Do I think it was an accident? I believe it was an accident that went bad. Okay. Possibly someone else driving the car. Possibly. Do I have evidence? No. Nobody does. All we got is footage that we're going off of and autopsies that have been posted. If there are the real autopsies. So what do we do in this situation? I don't know. I'm going with the police. It was an accident. However it may be, it was an accident. Uh, it would take the higher ups to go ahead and come in and investigate the whole thing all over, or a private investigator. But it's going to be tough to do with no body now. So I'm going with it was an accident. And this channel ain't going on nothing more than that because we don't have the evidence, folks. We don't have the autopsy, the body. We don't have these things. We're going off what they say. And what they say is it was an accident. And it could have very well been just an accident. But an accident that uh, didn't get called. The authorities didn't get called right away. There's all kinds of things. So in order to do anything, somebody would have to hire a private investigator, or the FBI would have to come in and reinvestigate the whole case or whatever. Uh, and a lot of people now are upset, saying, "Well, you know what? It might have been an accident, but she was underage and drinking there and doing cannabis, and a lot of people want to know who was there, where'd she get this stuff from, because they could be charged for contributing to minors and the cause of death. It's like if she would have OD'd, the police want to know where'd she get the drugs? And then usually if they find out who did give her the drugs, then usually the police go after the people that give you the drugs that she OD'd on. If, that was the case. So I know what they're saying. A lot of these YouTube channels are upset. They're still saying that there was a crime committed, and I understand what they're saying. Being that there was a crime committed. She was underage, she was drinking and driving. Somebody gave her the alcohol or somebody gave her the cannabis and they shouldn't have let her drove, and yada yada, all the fights and all this and that. It could be a lot of things, folks, but the only thing you really can do is the family would have to want a second opinion on it, you know. And usually at an autopsy, if I believe, there's usually two autopsy people there that do autopsies, just in case the other one misses something. Now, I don't know if that's the case in Truckee, but usually in a high profile case of a missing person or something like this that's been on the news or social media, but you don't know. What do you do? I don't know. This channel is saying it's an accident. Not that there wasn't any wrong doing, but it was an accident without intent, meaning something happened and it wasn't intentional. Uh, Now, there, like I said, I can't control other YouTube channels, and I've seen them blowing up. That's their right. That's their right to cover and have their own beliefs. You know, and I'm going to say the same thing I said before in my other video. Yes, I believe it's possible uh, that she made it back to the vehicle. If you watch vehicles go down and what people do and the way they're found in vehicles, if you watch a lot of forensic stuff, yes, it's possible she made it back there on her own, trying to escape. Confused, drunk, stoned, whatever. It's possible she wasn't even driving and she was sleeping, and someone else was driving and made it out, but could not get to her in time. Being it was an accident, but it was not an intentional uh, thing, meaning they didn't intend to hurt her. That's possible too. But I'm done covering the case until there's some dramatic change. But I don't think there is going to be. I think they probably had proof that it was an accident. And maybe YouTube didn't get the full story. Maybe some of these people knew it was an accident, but tried to get money for a GoFundMe or to bury her or whatever, you know. And that was a crime, being they knew, but they were starting, you know, there's thousands of videos out there you can watch. A lot of people think Sammy Smith is the one, you know, orchestrating this whole thing. I don't know. I don't have the proof of that. The police would, FBI would, you know, maybe a private investigator, but as a YouTube couch potato, uh, we don't have the evidence that we're looking at. We don't even know what the condition of the body was in. Meaning, was there any strangulation, broken bones, black eyes, anything like that? We don't know that. You're going off an autopsy that I hope is real. We've seen a lot of fake documents on YouTube, deliberately put on YouTube and the social media. Why? They've been screaming it for how many years? To confuse the people, to make money, to all kinds of reasons. So I'm done with that case unless there's a dramatic change. The evidence is pointing towards an accident. If they want to go further than that, they'd have to hire a private investigator or the FBI if they're watching. would have to say something ain't adding up, and they would have to investigate it. Could they? Yes, they could. A lot of people are eating crow right now, people. They don't want it to be real. They all had in their mind that they knew exactly what happened to Kylie Rodney and who was involved. And they instead of saying that's a theory or that's what they thought, they claimed that's what happened. And you know what? I'm not coming down on them people. I will say anything is possible in the world we live in. I can tell you that much. Their theory wasn't wrong. It was them trying to pump out that they knew who was involved, and it was child trafficking and all this crap. And so, maybe, and I'm not saying they were wrong. It happens every day in this country. It's just, I don't know. I've been watching a lot of videos on it. So, like I said, we're going with it was an accident, and uh, there was no intent. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying she was driving. Maybe she was driving. Maybe everything they said was true. She was drunk. Toxicology did show ethanol and uh, cannabinoids or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, you mix them two together, folks. I was a teenager once. I couldn't do it. If I was drinking, I had to stick with drinking. Couldn't smoke anything. If I was smoking, I'd have one bear and that was it. Because it would, them two together makes you an idiot. So, is it possible she was driving it? Yes, it's possible it was an accident. It is very possible. Like I said, there ain't nothing we could do. We could talk about it all day on YouTube, but it takes the FBI or someone with a lot of money to hire a private investigator to investigate what they have, what evidence they do have. And like I said, supposedly they cremated the body. Well, now you got nothing. You got what they say. So, ooh. But I'm done covering that, like I said, until. And my condolences to the family. Uh, and rest in peace, Kylie Rodney. At least, good God Almighty, they found her. Yeah. Like I said, it does look suspicious. I'm not going to lie. But that ain't my job to, you know, anything is possible. And if they say it's a drowning, well, I can live with that. I would rather live with that than some gory stuff that I've been hearing on YouTube that I've only repeated what I've heard. We can only, and I said that on this channel. We can only hope it was an accidental drowning, and it wasn't what we were hearing of. There are some sick people out there posting photos of it with a sign, uh, MILF or whatever, sex rub stickers or wax for on her, a bunch of good God, gang rapes and everything. Uh, I'm happy that it was an accidental drowning instead of something as sick and horrifying for a young lady. I don't know. But that's it. I'm done with this. There ain't nothing anyone can do unless you got a lot of money to spend on a private investigator and or the FBI. FBI could come in and reopen the whole case and go through it. Um, but they haven't done nothing yet. So I would imagine they're sticking with it was an accident. And a lot of people are upset at Sammy. They just won't come off Sammy. Maybe Sammy, even if Sammy was driving and it was an accident, she's older. They're saying contributing to a minor, uh, yada, 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 yada. Well, I don't know. That's up to they might rule it as an accident, but maybe go after somebody else for it. They wouldn't come out and say it, you know. They would just start picking up people maybe for charges of contributing, stuff like that. You don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I'm glad that they found her and it was an accident and not something gory. That's all I can say. So you're going to see videos on it for many, many months to come, probably a year. It's been 5 years and we're still seeing Delphi uh, videos, Gabby Petito video. This will probably go on for many, many years. And that's their right, folks. If they want to cover the case, that's their right. If they want to come up with their own scenarios and theories, that's their right. You can't brainwash these people into being convinced it was this, when they think something else. Then again, there are people that you could just sit right down and show them the proof. This is the proof. Here's all the photos of the autopsy, the body, all the toxicology, the computer on the car, data, all that, phone records. It was an accident, and they'll scream conspiracy. And they have every right to, because conspiracies do exist. That's how they used to kill kings and queens and take over countries. It does exist. So I'm leaving it up to YouTube and the Federal Bureau of Investigations if there's any wrongdoing, or somebody with a lot of money that can investigate it. But I'm sure they wouldn't have came out, being that there was so much coverage, so many people, Ryan Upchurch screaming this, that, and all the rest of these people. A big YouTube war was created, a feeding frenzy. For them to come out and say there was no foul play, they must have had real good evidence of it. Because if it was foul play, they would have came out and said it was foul play, and this is what we believe, and we are having an investigation, and we can know we can't talk about it no more. I don't know. Crazy? Sure. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Most definitely. But what can you do? It's an accident. And that's what I'm going with. I'm done with it. And I'm taking a break from crime. It'll drive you cuckoo. No, you folks have a great day. And like I said, on this channel, you have the right to believe what you want to believe. Just like I have the right to believe what I want to believe. And if these people on YouTube want to just keep making all kinds of videos, it's a conspiracy, it's this, it's that, they can. It's their right. That's their right. If they want to exploit people and their children and make money off of it, that's their right. Only YouTube can do something about it. Only YouTube can shut down them channels that are exploiting these kids are making tons of money off of it and creating fake content and all this. The only one that could do anything about that would be YouTube or the viewers of YouTube. And I will be the first one to admit, there are a lot of fishy things that are unquestionable in the Kiely Rodney case. And that's the way they will stay. Why? Because we don't have the body or the proof or the photos. Was there any ligatures? How was she found? Was she clothed? Did they do this? Did they do that? Did they do a rape kit? Did they do all this stuff to cover all the grounds? You know, that's what's questionable. Other than that, do I believe she could have drove into the lake or someone did and escaped? Yes. And do I believe that she could have drove in by herself, confused, maybe passed out, whatever, and just passed out behind the wheel and drove into the lake? Yes, it is very possible. And if the evidence shows that, then that's what it is. Right now, case closed for me on this channel on Kiely Rodney case is an accident. And God rest her soul and her family. Condolences, and to her friends. And we can't control YouTube or what people do on their channels. Amen. Have a great day. I will be back with a great outdoors video. It's windy. Oh, I got something to do in an hour for a couple hours. So I'm going to get a nice, it's sunny out now, windy. And God bless.